Claire and Universal Pictures, I'd like to welcome you all here to the Sydney premiere of The Dressmaker. I'm Jackie Frank, publisher of Marie Claire magazine and the host of tonight's Q&A with the wonderful cast and filmmakers of The Dressmaker. I'd also like to welcome the cast and crew, many of you who are in the audience tonight and are seeing the film for the very first time, so we're really glad you could join us. I'd now like to introduce you to the creative women behind the film. Director, Jocelyn Morehouse. The producer, Sue Maslin. The wonderful, talented crew, we have Sarah Snook, Judy Davis, and we have a wonderful message from Liam, who could not be with us tonight, but he's going to be up on the big screen any second.
Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be there tonight. I had such a wonderful time filming The Dressmaker, and I'm extremely proud of this film. Thank you to Marie Claire and Universal Pictures for hosting tonight's event, and thank you to everyone in the audience for coming to celebrate and support this beautiful Australian production. I hope you enjoyed The Dressmaker.
Okay, so let's start with you, Sue. Why not? Well, there's a strong female presence behind this film, hence why Marie Claire's like to get involved. It's directed by a woman, based on a best-selling novel by a woman, produced by a woman, edited by a woman, and the lead role is a woman. Go girls! Sorry, Hugo. Honorary woman. Yeah, that woo! Oh, well, they'll see that later. Tell us what it was like bringing all these women together.
Well, look, it really just starts with the story and the fact that Rosalie Ham, in her beautiful book, and I bet there's a few readers here tonight that have read The Dressmaker, she just imagined this exotic, wonderful, creature, really, in Tilly, coming home and avenging the wrongs of the past, and with her single sewing machine, getting her revenge on them. And so there's a strong woman, female character at the heart of it, and of course just a delightful, really a love story between mother and daughter. She reconciles with Mad Molly, who we will see tonight, played brilliantly by wonderful Judy Davis. So it starts with the story. And then what happens, you read a book and you fall in love with the story. And honestly, I think sometimes producing would have to be one of the most wonderful jobs, because really it's about falling in love with the story and then finding the right team to bring that story alive. And I'm so proud of the work that Jocelyn Morehouse did in adapting the script and directing this film, coming back to Australia. And if anything at all, tonight is really Joss's night, returning in the director's chair. So I'm very proud of that.
Just before I move on, I believe you went to school with the writer of the novel.
I did. In fact, I even came from the same funny little country town in the middle of nowhere, Drury, on the Hay Plain. This is Drury, for God's sake.
How many people were in Drury?
Oh, about 600 people, and everybody knew everybody's business, and it wasn't actually a cross-dressing policeman, but there was a bit of interesting activity on the clothes lines of Drury, let me tell you, and they weren't always female.
We'll have to talk about that afterwards, I think.
Indeed, but yes, we were sent away to boarding schools. In the case, I went away to school at age 12 in Melbourne, which in those days was 5.5 hours away on a bus. And Rosalie was a couple of years older than me, and she actually doesn't remember me from those years, so I'm heartbroken. I remember her. She was the bad girl. And she was hilariously funny back then. She still is hilariously funny now. But we would be dropped off in the middle of the night in Drury off the bus, and then we had no contact for 30 years until the book came out. And I saw her name there, and I read the book, and I just thought, I have to find her. I have to find her again. And we, unfortunately for me, she'd already given the rights away to another producer. So I had to wait 5 years before those rights came back up. But in the 5 years, we started playing golf together, as you do. Terrible golfers, but there's nothing more fun than being on a golf course with an author. And one day on the 18th hole, we were coming in and she said, I don't think this book's ever, this book's not going to ever get made. I'm thinking about not renewing the option. Do you think you'd be interested? I was like, yes! And that's how it came about.
Oh, well, we're very glad that it did, which you'll see. Now, Jocelyn, did you always have Kate Winslet in mind for this film?
Yes, I did actually. Yes, I always wanted Kate. I've always wanted to work with her anyway. It's been one of my goals. And so when I read Tilly, I thought this is a perfect role for Kate Winslet.
And what was it about Liam that drew you to casting him as Teddy, besides the obvious?
Well, besides the fact that he's absolutely gorgeous. Well, actually, I was looking for somebody who could play Teddy, who is a very laid-back, warm-hearted country lad who dreams of bigger things and can't quite believe his eyes when he discovers the exotic Tilly Dunnage. And look, Liam just has this natural charm, and I love being able to hear his Australian accent, because for the last few years, people just assumed he was American. So to have a gorgeous movie star with an Australian accent is always a nice thing.
Yeah, it's wonderful that he could, finally work in his mother tongue.
Yes, he was really happy to do that, actually, and to play Aussie rules.
What's the story behind finding the town of Dungatar, which is the setting for the film?
Well, actually, the script, which was based on a book, obviously, had created such a specific town. It was pretty much a character in its own right. And we were searching for a town that had one main street, at the end of which was a hill. On top of that hill, there was a little old shack that was falling down, and then there was a school opposite a grocery store. And I mean, it was just so ridiculously specific that eventually, after searching for 2 years with Roger Ford and Don McAlpine, we came to the conclusion, the rather exciting and terrifying conclusion, that we would have to build this town. So I told Sue.
And we built it. Oh, wow. And let's talk about the other star of the film, fashion. There were incredible 350 costumes crafted by a team of 9 designers and dressmakers. And fashion plays such a pivotal role in a dressmaker. Tell us about that.
Well, that was another reason I wanted to do the movie. The contrast of these beautiful couture creations, 1950s, which was the golden age of couture. And to have those, that little piece of European luxury transposed into the Australian outback, was very exciting visually.
A real juxtaposition.
Oh, gorgeous. It was like a Vogue shoot, really, just to imagine. Sorry, Marie Claire. Oops. Yes, let's just rewind that. Sorry. Whoops. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. Anyway, fashion shoot. That's what I meant to say. But we did a lot of research. There were actually 2 designers on the movie, Marion Boyce and Margot Wilson. Margot was basically in charge of creating Tilly's look, and because we wanted Tilly to have a very different look than the creations, because she's a designer, and designers often dress in a much more sort of chic nonchalance is the word I've heard used, effortless chic, because they don't want to, they're not there to get too much attention, except of course in this one scene of football that you'll see later. But then her creations were put together by Marion Boyce, who everybody is probably quite familiar with her work in Miss Bishop Murder Mysteries. And I needed somebody who could create a lot of gorgeous pieces. and that they would have to be accurate, authentic to the period. And so, yeah, there was a very obsessive side to our costume department.
Oh, you could see it. It's amazing.
But I'm sad about that.
Judy, I'd like to go to you next.
Okay.
You were incredible in this film. What attracted you to Man Lolly?
Well, it certainly wasn't her name. It's a very funny role, very well-written role, which is always seductive for an actor, isn't it? In a very good script, and a full-blown character part, which I admit freely that I've always been more comfortable with. I suppose that was it. The journey. She has a very distinct journey. She goes from a sort of muddle-headedness and a kind of irascibility that comes in part from not quite knowing what the hell's going on around her, to some true clarity and this sort of reunion. Should I be telling them the story?
I'm trying to just sort of allude to things.
Reunion with the...
so
it's kind of a lovely journey. I think that was... And I really very much wanted to work with Jocelyn Morehouse, who's, I think, a marvellous director. And it was lovely.
And I believe that Kate Winslet accepted the role because she wanted to work with you. Absolutely. And
I was dangling that in the air. I actually say yes, but actors are always lying. It's a nice thing that she was saying. I don't believe it's true.
It's true. It's true.
It's true.
Yeah. So, what was it like working with Kate?
Well, Kate Winslet, she is, truly, she's as gorgeous as you might imagine she is. She's just this lovely, unaffected woman, and breathtakingly beautiful. I mean, it was always a pleasure in the morning to see her in the makeup tray. This sort of beautiful, clear skin, and she's just gorgeous. These beautiful children.
And she's very down to earth too. She's incredible. She's good fun. There's something not about her. Really, she's hard-working, good fun, and a space.
Yeah, the chemistry seems, you can see it on the screen. It was wonderful. But Australian films have had an absolute record year at the box office. Why is it important that we tell Australian stories on screen? Yes?
You're Australian. I don't know why we wouldn't tell Australian stories. I don't know why we still think the culture and that other people's cultures are more interesting than ours because they're not. There's a difference. So it seems kind of obvious to me.
No, I was hoping you'd say that. Now we've got it on the record. And while we're with you, I loved your character of the cross-dressing, and I shouldn't be giving away, cop, Sergeant Barrett. You look like you're having so much fun. What funny story can you tell us that happened on set? There was hundreds, wasn't there?
No, we did have fun. We had a lot of fun. But, sorry, this one. We had a lot of fun. But, look, actually, it's difficult too. Filmmaking is very difficult. And particularly in the first 3 weeks of this piece, I think we always knew that the tone of this film was very complex. It's not an easy tone, it's a synthesis of many different tones. This film, and so judging the tone of your performance as an actor in this film was very difficult. It was something that we were all talking about as actors, and also Joss and Sue were talking about. Very kind of important thing. They've done a fantastic job of making sure all of those notes and all those tones are in the film, I think it's an absolute gem. But that's what was difficult for me, and I think for all of us. And then by the time I got to last week, because it's just a riot, I was
Sarah, last but not least, you've had an incredible year, and next we'll be seeing you in the highly anticipated Steve Jobs film, which reunites you with Kate Winslet. How did you find working with Kate?
Well, it's wonderful for all the same reasons that you engineer mentioned. But certainly also as someone that I looked up to as a young actress, or just a young woman really, as someone who seems to be confident and strong and able to live in her own skin easily. And so working with her and seeing that was the truth was really remarkable.
Which is something that I think people would say of you as well. Young and confident and comfortable in your own skin. Your character is completely transformed thanks to the help of some fabulous fashion. We actually have a wonderful reportage in Marie Claire of some of that. Clothes really do help transform a person, and we see this in the film. Tell us a bit about that, like, you know, how the clothes helped you in character.
Well, I think that's, part of the joy of doing the job, I suppose, is being able to work on an inner life of the character and then get told sometimes to pull up some outfit from some costume designer and then try and make that work. And this one was really a collaborative process. It was wonderful. And you know, not that I want to give too much away, but Gertrude is very plain, very invisible, shy kind of character. Very much a wallflower, and she gets transformed completely. And what I loved was the outer transformation totally affects her inner transformation as well. And she doesn't become a nice person necessarily.
Oh no, well, it doesn't mean clothes make you a terrible person.
But she takes that newfound power and just runs with it.
Yeah. Well, I won't say anything. Oh, it was amazing. Yeah. Now, what was your favourite? Because you paraded so many outfits. Like, you actually got to probably, besides Tilly, we saw a lot of changes on you.
My favourite outfit, I think, was there's a very good outfit that you can see. It's very difficult doing a question before the show because you don't want to give too much away, but there's a wonderful outfit, keep an eye out for it. It's black and white, there's silk organza wings, and they kind of, it was almost as if someone drew a cartoon and then turned into real life. That was my favourite because it's very much just the dress speaking and I don't do anything.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we have time for tonight. Everybody's really anxious to see the film. Thank you guys for sharing your stories with us. I know it's going to be a major success. They had a standing ovation at Toronto, so congratulations already for that. And
can I just, on behalf of all of us, thank Marie Claire, for hosting this.